Alright. We should be live. Just gonna set up my windows here. Yeah, good chat. Alright, so today we will be finishing our Tic Tac Toe app that we started yesterday. We're going to be adding, we're going to be implementing the front end and back end connection because we do have a basic front end here, as well as the back end game logic that we implemented. And then we are going to do some studying after that. So I'll just ping the Discord as well. There we go. I also need, probably like a better thumbnail for this stream. That's okay. All right, let's get started. So, where do we want to begin? We gotta create like we gotta get the DOM. So we have to have another, I'm thinking of having another object, maybe like a display manager or something, right? We could do a display manager. Okay, we'll have that as a singleton. And then I think the first thing we should focus on is actually getting the game to work. So when we click on, well, actually, the first thing we can do is when we click on a button, then the symbol shows up, right? So we have to target the buttons. So it would be a game board button. So we'll say const game board button elements, or game button elements maybe. Actually, I need to make it types. HTML. I actually don't know whether this will work because it's technically a node list, right? A node list? And then we have to attach event listeners to each one, right? So we could do like initialize display manager or something. Or start display manager. I don't know. Say initialize display. And then we'll attach the event listeners. And then we'll say button dot add event listener. Click. I also need to get the data coordinate, which I forget how to do. Dot data set. So we can say let chords equal number equal button dot data set. That's not all I wanted. As number. Why? Property dataset does not exist on type node. How do we fix this? Because how do I get the data set? So the button here is a node type. Interesting. So wait, does that not... Why? Oh, button dataset coordinates is possibly undefined. Again. But I know it will be defined, so we'll say if button dot dataset dot coordinates not equal to undefined, then we will but also for the take turn, we need to refactor this too. So I think we need to refactor the take turn to take in an x and a y coordinate, right? Because the turn is only taken when we trigger the button press. So all of this code here can be omitted, I think. So we'll refactor that now. Yeah, because we don't need the input anymore. I'll just comment it for a second in case we need part of it. So we'll say x is a board index, and then y is a board index, right? And then we'll say we don't even need the board position state, or the board x and the board y, do we? Actually, I can just name these board x. And then I can get rid of these. And then we don't need this down here anymore. The other thing we need is to keep track of the get at the current turn, so we need a getter function for that. And then we need to get the current turn so that we can, should be, yeah, okay. We need to get the current turn so that we can access it in the display manager, right? And then we'll say let x as number equal button dot dataset dot coordinates 0. Oh, but then that's possibly undefined, right? Because of the type. And then there's no way if I use x that why is it type 0? Oh, because I have it as a number, that's why. Actually, I don't care if it's a... I want it to be a string still. If coordinates 0 is not undefined, or actually, you know what we'll do? Say let, we'll say, and then we have to cast those to... We have to cast the coordinates to the board index, right? So actually, yeah, we need more if clauses. I don't know if there's a better way to do this. If chord 0 is greater than or equal to 0 and oh, yeah. What are you going to say now? That doesn't fix it either. We have to check if they're in bounds too. It's probably not gonna like this. Type number is not assignable to board index, yeah. Because I need to check the bounding of this too, which is annoying. You know what we could do? We could just say let y equal right, and then we'll do game manager dot take turn. Oh, do I export that? I don't. Okay, good. I think I can get rid of this now. Right. Shouldn't have any problems. I really hate this nested if structure, but it is what it is. Okay, and then we take the turn. Then we have to update the content, right? We could probably abstract this into a function. So we can do const update, or hey anime, I'm doing all right. How are you? And we'll, let's see, update button, game button or something, and we'll take in a button as a HTML button on it, right? That's all right. That's good. I hope you're, you had a, well, I guess, I don't know what time zone you're in, but I guess I hope your day was good, or I hope you will have a good day. If it's Thursday morning, I don't know. Okay, so now you put this code in here. Just makes it a little cleaner. Thank you. I appreciate that. I had a annoying day at work actually, so I'm doing some coding to decompress. I know a lot of people probably don't think coding's that relaxing, but I don't know. It's kind of nice. I started the live like 20 minutes ago, about. If you want to know like when I start the live, by the way, I don't know, are you already in my Discord? Yeah, I mean, you don't have to join it, but in the Discord I announce when I go live. If you're curious about that, I can give you the link. Yeah, like 20 minutes ago. Which, like, I try to go live at around 7 p.m. my time. But today I went live a little bit earlier, because I had time, and I kind of want to end earlier too so that I can go to bed. Yeah, sure, I'll drop the link to the Discord in case you want to join. It's kind of dead. But you don't totally optional. You don't have to go in there. But there's a few of us in there already. It's kind of just like a place to hopefully hang out, talk about coding, share your projects, stuff like that. Or that's what I'm hoping it'll get to. It's a little, again, it's humble beginnings. So, I've also never ran a Discord before, so I'm kind of new to this. We will make it alive. Yes, yes, I hope so. It has like how many members now? Like over 10, which is kind of cool, considering how small my community is. I just saw you pop in there. Right on. Let's see. Cool. Yeah. The live's getting to a little bit of a slow start today. That's alright. Where was I with this? Okay, so then we take the turn. And then we have to update the display. Yeah, exactly. Everyone starts small. I'm actually kind of surprised by how much. I know today's kind of like slow, but the last few streams have been kind of crazy. Like, I've gotten like almost 200 views in like the last few, which like compared to where I started, it's like insane. And I'm like, my subscriber count like doubled. So I don't know, but I think the most important thing is consistency, which I'm trying to be consistent. So okay, so then now after we take the turn in the game manager, we want to update the actual display of the button, right? So we'll do actually I want to maybe return if the turn was valid or not, because yeah, so it alerts that the move is valid. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll refactor this to return a Boolean value, right? So it'll return true if the return was successful, and it'll return false if it was not. And we'll just make this return a Boolean. Return, let's just do false. If the game's over, we'll return, actually no, we'll return true when the game ends. Cool. Although we want to probably set the turn after the display is updated. So we'll actually want to get the current turn before we trigger the take turn, right? So we'll do let turn as a string equal game manager dot get current turn, or get, what was the function? Get current turn, yeah. Oh, maybe I didn't export it. There we go. Cool. Cool. And then so we get the turn. And then we'll say let turn successful. Return successful. Actually, this doesn't need to be explicitly typed. Just be semantic. Okay. And then so this when the turn is taken, it'll return true or false. And then so if it was a successful turn, okay, timer's up, but I'm just going to finish this last piece of logic here. So if turn successful, then we'll update the button. There's a lot of, again, I don't like this if chain here, but it is what it is. Then we'll say that button dot inner HTML, maybe? This turn. Let's do this. I think that's everything. Because we don't want to change the button text unless the turn was good, right? So, yeah, cool. All right, I'll take a 5-minute break, and then we'll test it. So yeah. But thanks, Anime, for joining. I appreciate you coming into the Discord. And the other thing we have to do after we get this working is we have to have implement the restart game functionality and changing these text fields, changing what's printed here. And also updating the status when the player, when someone wins or it's a tie. And then I think we're done, pretty much. Although we could probably add a start game button explicitly, but or you just update this dynamically. I don't know, we'll see. We'll see. What's after Tic Tac Toe? Oh, yeah. This I'm probably going to skip through because I already know classes. I think we implemented the libraries if classes in there. Go back to your library project and refactor to use class. So I'm probably going to skip that because it's easy. We have ES6 modules. NPM. And then Webpack. Back to it. Let's finish this thing. Okay, so what do we want to do now? Okay, actually, we want to compile this and test it. This is the first thing, right? So. So I actually need to update the... I need to do some console logs here. Because this wasn't... Text didn't update. That's okay. Oh, it's not even being called. I'm assuming this check isn't passing. Pass one. I could probably use breakpoints here too, but... Oh, what the heck? Oh, because I put that in the wrong... Dang, that was stupid. Console. Pass 2. Okay. Yeah, so I called display manager and it display. Are we actually selecting the game button elements? Oh yeah, we got them. Okay, so that worked. So then, okay, so we have the buttons here. So the node list is there. And then, like, what if we just console log the button, right? What if we console log the chords? Ah, they're undefined. Okay. So that's our problem. Oh, it's not coordinates. It's coordinate. That's annoying. What if I just update it in the HTML? Okay. Now let's recompile this guy. Oh yeah, see, it already worked. There we go. Nice. Okay. Sick. Alright, it worked. Okay, so I was going crazy. Okay. So I just had the variable name wrong. That's good. Okay. So we want to get rid of this alert. So if we try to do an invalid move, yeah, doesn't let us, right? We probably don't even care about doing that. We could just like have it just unpressable. We could also like, the other thing we could do after we make a move is disable the button, right? So in the reset board state, we'd also have to we could do button disabled equals false, and then when we click the button, if the turn was successful, then we'll also disable it, right? Which prevents us from clicking it again. There's also probably a clever way to do that. Okay, so now if we click an X... Oh wait, because I didn't compile this, right? Okay. That's the problem. Okay. Yeah, see, now it's disabled. Okay, let's see if ties work. It's a tie. Cool. We want to get rid of the alerts, I think. Right? And then we want to update the actual text down here. Right? So let's do that. We'll do const game status. And then we'll do it as an HTML div. Is it a div? Yeah. Okay. Yo, how's it going, Dale? Okay. Now, when we initialize the display, we want to set... We could also have internal values for... We gotta actually have, we have to have accessors to these input fields, right? That's the other variable we need. So that's the ID. Okay, so we'll do const player one name maybe. We'll do inputs dots for hashtag player one. Is that what it was? Player X. Player X name actually. Do you know now what R were you doing? Oh no, I have not. I have not set up the terminal yet, Dale. I had quite an arduous day at work, so I haven't had time. But I will get to it this weekend. But I looked into it a little bit when I was slow at work, and it looks really cool. I watched a YouTube video. There's this like whole world of like these Linux guys that love configuring their Linux machines, like ricing, like Linux ricing. It's pretty neat. I don't think I have. I don't mean to be like that guy, but I don't know if I have time for that, time for all that. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I'll definitely screw around with the terminal stuff. Also, just relax. We are making, or I am making a simple Tic Tac Toe clone using TypeScript, HTML, and CSS. I'm just wrapping that up. Yeah, the terminal. Yeah, they do look cool. So we'll just do the same for player O as well. Actually, these can't be constants either. They have to be... Or actually, yeah, they can. I think they can, actually. Cool, cool. Thank you, Just Relax. I appreciate it. On my way to becoming the best web developer there ever was. I'm just kidding. Maybe someday. Maybe someday I'll be good. But we're just practicing, really. But I appreciate you commenting. Okay. So we have the reference to the input for the names, and then we will set update status maybe. Update game status. We'll have as a function. And then we could also add event listeners to the... Actually, no, that's a little... Just think about the best way to do this. Update game status? Yeah, I'm using an arrow function. I'm just thinking about the best way to get the current win state, because we wanna update the status, which the status, by the way, is this little text down here. So the status is going to kind of tell the players like whose turn it is, and then also when there's a win or a tie. It's just like a little text, right? So I'm just thinking about when to update it. So we want to update it if the turn's successful, right? But the other thing is we want to also update it when these text fields get changed. So I'm just thinking about the best way to approach that. We could leave that for now. We'll just start it. We'll just start it with this. And we'll say we should probably make the win status let is win to be false. Oh, I see. We already have a check win here. It's just I've got the same state in multiple locations, and I'm trying to think about the best way to consolidate this. So do I want the game manager to keep track of win state, or do I want to leave that in the board? I probably want to leave that in the board. But the thing is we have it here too. Yeah, you know what we'll do? We'll just do it here. So we'll say let is win is false, and then is win. We'll also do the same for is tie. And then we'll just have some getters. I think that's probably the best way to do it. Const get win status. And then is win. And then const get tie status. It's tie. And we have some getters, and then we have to export those. Get win status, get tie status. And then we can say if game manager. We can just do an if else if chain. Dot is win or get win status. Then we'll set the text to be win. We'll say else if game manager dot get tie status, and then actually we could honestly just do it like this and then have returns. So if it's a win status, then we need to target the text of the game status element. So we need to say game status elements dot text content equals left hand side. Oh, because it might be undefined. It's annoying. I need to figure this out. This might be undefined. I might do some research after this project's done. I might do some research on best practices for TypeScript when it comes to dealing with the strict typing of constants. Because this whole having to check whether things exist all the time, it seems a little bit I get why you have to do that, but I there's got to be an easier way, but that I don't know of. So we'll just wrap this all in another if, I guess. We'll say if game button or no, game status element not equal to undefined, right? And then game status element dot text content equals, oh yeah, but then the text content might be undefined, right? Oh. But it's even a div element, so it should have the text content property. Do I have to explicitly type it here too? If we do it like this, that's better. I honestly don't know what the difference is between having the type here versus after document.query selector versus before. I have no idea. So what happens when you just blindly steal syntax from Stack Overflow? Okay. Now you're still giving me trouble. Okay, but now you're good though. And then we'll say, then we need to get the player X name element, right? I have a sneaky suspicion that Those are going to be undefined. Okay, so we'll do this. We'll say that's ugly, but again, there's got to be a better way around this pattern. How do I get the input? I guess it's just the value, right? Dot value wins. No, it would be player X and go on. It would depend on whose turn it is, right? Okay. That's annoying. Oh, so we can get the current turn. So we can say let winner equal game manager dot get current turn, because if there's a winner, the turn doesn't actually get flipped because we do a premature return, right? And then we can just do winner wins, or shoot. We need to do a conditional. Otherwise, the O player wins, right? It's a disgustingly long line, but I don't know, can you break this up onto multiple lines? Oh yeah, you can. Okay. You have a ternary if on multiple lines. Okay. And then a tie is easy because there's no player involved in that. Oh, and then we'll return earlier. And we'll say it's a tie, right? And then return. And then otherwise, we flip the turn. So, we'll actually just do this. You like the rain sound? I appreciate it. I sometimes you do lo-fi music and sometimes I do rain, but I find the rain kind of adds like it's like calm. It's like a calming atmosphere. I just find like an 8-hour YouTube video of like rain ambience. Actually do this. Well, let's say let turn. And then game status element dot text content equals and then we have to do this again. Cool. It's kind of an ugly function, but it does the job. Yeah, we update the game status there. Yeah, it should be good. Maybe. Okay. Is this ready for testing? Maybe. Let's find it. So, oh yeah, there we go. I'm updated. Player 2's turn. Player 1's turn. Player 2's turn. Player 1's turn. And then player 1 wins. Yay. And you can't. Oh, but you can still press the other buttons. We could probably like disable all the buttons when there's a winner. Can we do that in here? Maybe. Yeah, sure. We'll disable all buttons. So we'll just do like a little game button elements dot for each button dot disabled equals true. Right. We don't even need the brackets. So just do that. Cool. All right, that was good. Good timing. Let's just test this one more time. Oops. Dang my mic. Okay, so now when we get a winner, the rest of the button should disable so that we stop playing. Yay! There we go. And then the only way to reset the game is to refresh the. Let's try doing a tie. And then there we go. It says it's a tie. The alarm is for I do the Pomodoro method. So I do 25 minutes of work and then a 5-minute break. And then 25 minutes of work and then a 5-minute break. And it kind of like helps me space out these longer coding sessions. So when the background of the timer above my head is green, that means that we're on break. And then if it's like a blue color, that means we're working. So I don't know. It kind of just helps my sanity a little bit, I think. So, yeah. I used it all the time when I was studying in school. So that like, cause I feel like it's easy to like, especially if you study for longer than like an hour straight, you can get kind of tired. Like even earlier on in these streams, like a couple weeks ago when I was starting, like to do the 3 hours, like was kind of hard. Cause especially as well, cause I'm not a streamer. Like I had never really streamed ever before, this channel experiment that I'm doing. So it was like kind of like, it was kind of jarring, I guess, in a way. So this kind of helps me space things out. So, yeah. Hey Jill, what's up? How's your morning? We're almost done the Tic Tac Toe game. We just have to do the restart button. I technically didn't test changing the player names. Like if I change this to like, yeah, okay, it does work. The only thing is we also need to trigger the update game status when the value of either of these changes. So we need to have an event listener for that, probably an init display. So we should also update the status right at the beginning anyway. Right? Update game status. Should do that right at the beginning. So now... Oh, well... Why isn't it? Oh, because I didn't compile it. Right. Forgot to compile it. Yeah, so now it says player 1's turn instead of X's turn. So this kind of default text is like no longer necessary. Yeah, so much for the break. Is there autocompile stuff? Like, what do you mean by autocompile? Oh, is that a thing? Jill, you might have just saved my life. Instead of having to autocompile all this stuff. Is that a thing to, like... Because I've been compiling manually this entire time. So every time a change happens, I have to do Command-Shift-B, and then I build from the tsconfig file. Because that's the way I learned how to do it. But if that's a thing, then that's, like, great. Wait, so, hold on. What did you say? TSC watch? Synchronously update the status of the directory. Oh. Okay, I'll try that out. Hold on. Let's try that. There we go. So then now if I, like, change something... Well, I didn't change anything significant, but I trust that that's going to work. It says starting compilation watch mode. Okay. I'm with it. Alright, let's start with 25 minutes again. Cool. Jill, you just saved me, like, minutes worth of time. With all the times I forget to compile. And I think something's changed. Okay. So now, should be good, right? And if we get a win, then everything disables. And then we just need to do the restart game button listener, right? That should be pretty easy. So we'll do const restart game button element. Was that too many words? Whatever. Okay. It's an HTML button element. No. And then it'll be a game restart button. Right. And then now we can add the event listener to the init display, in the init display. So we'll say restart game button, docs, add event listener, click. I actually wonder if we just do this like this. Oh no, it doesn't restart. Okay, that's fine. I thought it refreshed. If you click a button, it refreshes automatically. But no, it doesn't. I guess that's only in the event listener. E dot prevent defaults. Actually, I wonder what would happen if we had an empty event listener, and if we would restart. Because the default, the reason why you do e dot, so when you do the event listener, you pass in the event as an object. This e is an object, and then when you do e dot prevent default, that prevents the default behavior of the click, which is a restart. So a restart, which refreshes the page, which actually would probably work in this case, right? Oh, maybe not. Maybe I'm losing my mind. That's good. You're using Zed IDE. I just recently moved from VS Code. That's cool. What is Zed IDE? I've never heard of it. Oh, this is cool. Does it have, like, I guess it does. It does have, like, good plugin support. What do you think, Dale? Like, does it have good plugins and stuff? Because I know, like, the reason why I use VS Code mostly is because of the community support. Like, it's just the thing. It's like using, like, Windows or whatever. They have? Nice. That's cool. When I have time later, I'll probably watch a video on it. They're still new. How new are they? Oh wow! Oh no! When's the initial? It doesn't even say. It uses Rust. That's interesting. Oh, it was one of the creators of Atom. Atom was an OG. I remember using Atom like when I was a kid for like learning HTML, so we'll do. It has better performance. I believe it because like Rust is extremely performant language, isn't it? Like what language is VS Code written in? I would bet it's like .NET or something. Oh, C. Oh wow, it's written in a lot of things. Fortran. That's crazy. Oh, used with. Never mind. That's stupid. What's it implemented in? Oh, it's written in TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, and C++. Yeah. Yeah, it could be React. That's kind of crazy that VS Code is React, actually. Huh. You know what, Dale, you might convert me. I'll take a closer look at it. Because I don't want to use Vim. And I have nothing against Vim. I just don't have time to learn all of the keybinds and stuff like that. I respect people that do. But I just I want to just make stuff, you know what I mean? I don't want to spend like a year learning how to get good at Vim. Or something like that. That's just an example. Although I had a prof in, I think it was my cryptography class, that used Emacs, which was like crazy. Okay. So what do we want to do? So when we restart the game, we want to trigger restart. We want to restart the. I think we can actually just trigger a game manager.start game. Because that triggers, game manager.start game triggers a resets the board state, right? And then, do we want to do anything else? Probably update the game status, right? Oh, the auto format? Yeah, I've noticed it's doing that. Is there a thing? There's probably a setting. Auto formats. Ah, format on save. There we go. I've noticed it's doing that. I didn't bother. There we go. It should be off now. Although I do want to have some sort of consistent formatting at some point. But thanks for the tip. I appreciate it. Okay, so I think we're good on the restart, and then we can change the event for changing text input. Yes. Oh, change. Okay. So we'll do that for player X name and player O name. So we'll do player X name element dot add event listener of change. And then we'll just update game status, right? I think we just do that. Oh, right on. Yeah, the thing with VS Code, it's up to you. Like you do what you want, but for me, I find the settings like here to be easier than sifting around in the settings.json file. Okay, so this should work now. So if we're like playing a bit and we restart, oh wait, that doesn't work out. Oh, because e.prevent default. Oh, and then we need to like re-enable all the buttons and stuff, right? So the game status has been reset, but we need to re-enable all the buttons and clear the text. That's gonna require, we need another function for that. We'll say const reset game, maybe? Then we have to go through each button, and then game button elements dot for each button, and then we'll say button dot text content equals empty, and then we'll say button dot disabled equals false. And then we'll do, might as well do this stuff in there too. You could just limit restart them to be consistent. Okay, now that should be good. You can give me the Z settings to turn off the auto format. I'd appreciate that. If I get into that, I'll definitely look into it. I'm not gonna make the switch to this stream, but I'll definitely check it out. Give it a try run. See how I like it compared to VS Code. Okay, so now if we do this, this should restart, right? Yeah, it's nice. Does it reset the turn, though, is the question. No, it doesn't reset the turn. Okay, so that's what we need to do. Oh, and then we'll set the current turn here. We'll do that. So now if we restart, we'll go back to turn. We'll go back to it. Cool. And then if this is changed, that's cool. Test 2. Nice. Okay, the only problem is Oh, you deleted VS Code. That's bold. But you know what? I respect it. I just need the O to... Oh, that worked. So the X displayed. I don't know why there's like a sync issue. Yeah. Is Z open source? I don't really care. I guess it is. Yeah, open source. That's cool. Yeah, I guess it's like a non-Microsoft version of VS Code and better. That's kind of what it seems like. Because I will say, I'm not a fan of Microsoft, generally speaking. I have to use Windows at work, and it's a freaking headache. It's so annoying. But you know, you can't avoid it when you're getting paid. So cool. I think this is like basically done. I'm just thinking about any other features that we need other than like styling changes. Hey, next. I was a computer science student. I actually graduated, believe it or not, even though I don't really know what I'm doing. But my degree was mostly theoretical, so we didn't actually like learn any like technologies at all. Like it was all math basically. It was like computer science technically, but it was like a math focus. So I'm actually like trying to teach myself like web development now. So that's kind of the whole point of this channel. Is teaching myself web development, even though I was a computer science student. So, what was my degree? My degree was computer science, but it had like a math certificate with it. Yeah, and then I have another degree. I have another degree. I took a biology degree, science, bachelor's of science in biology. Yeah. I took a biology degree. Graduated in 2023, and then the school I went to, like, you get a computer science degree in 2 years if you already had another degree. So you dream getting a CS but never did it. Hey man, if you want to do it, I'd say you should go for it, because I went back to school. So I finished my first degree when I was 22, and then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go back to school at 22, and I went back to school with a bunch of 19-year-olds, and I was like, holy shit, I'm old. But then I figured it out, and I graduated at 24, so it's never too late. I tried coding live. I can't speak at all. Rather just code and people follow along. Oh yeah, it's not easy, Dev. I honestly was scared like shitless when I started doing this, but I wanted to push myself, and you know, I don't know. It's tough though. I will say it's not easy. Also, like at the very beginning when you get no views, it's like hard to like talk to yourself. Yeah, honestly, next, like in today's world with AI, like there's no incentive to actually learn the fundamentals, right? And like I kind of have a video talking about this on my channel, where like, you know, there's AI and it's like, well, what's the point of learning the fundamentals if the AI can just do it for you? But then I kind of argue that it can't, at least not to the same level. Thankfully, when I was, well, so AI was obviously around when I did my computer science degree. But I tried my best not to use it because I did my previous degree without AI because I graduated high school like pre-AI. Do I think online studying is better than on-campus studying? Yes and no. I think online studying is good if you want to if you want to choose what you work on. Totally. Yeah, it depends how you learn exactly. But if you wanna be self-guided, online learning's the way to go. But if you need somebody to like be pushing you along, pushing you forward, then I would say on campus is good for that because you kind of get incentivized to you know, do the assignments and stuff like that because it's you know, you have to stay in the program, right? And you have to get a certain average. Like I think on my program, you had to maintain I don't know the GPA conversion, but it was a 1.0 GPA, so it's like 60%. I think. I might be wrong. I don't know how it might differ from country to country too. But you had to have at least a 60% average in your courses to stay in the program, or else they kicked you. So, anyway, I think this is done, really. I think the only thing we need to do now is just make this look prettier, which is like probably the thing I'm the worst at doing. So we could dive into some more CSS. Like I think functionally this is done. It technically doesn't calculate like score. I could make it like calculate like, oh, player X won this many times and player O won this many times, but I don't know, I'm kind of lazy. I'm kind of over this project a little bit. Yeah, Dev, honestly, what I'll say is it's really hard to juggle both. At least I found that. But if you can juggle online learning and school at the same time, then like, you know, the world's your oyster. Why did this? I pressed restart, but it didn't undisable. That's weird. I don't know. Weird bug. But yeah, no, I tried to do this like in school, and I had way too many courses. Like I did 5 courses per semester. So like that was way too much. Way too much. Okay, let's do some styling. Where should I start? Maybe I'll start with the buttons or something. So we got to get rid of the default button style. I think it's like appearance none, and then like outline none, border none. Oops. Right. Kind of work on with a blank slate. Okay. So we'll do the buttons. So the game buttons. So the game board button here. Maybe we'll add like a border radius of 1 REN. Font size of like 4 REN. We'll also do like a hover as well. We'll do an outline of dark outline. Whoa, that's ugly. Okay, hold on. Okay. What if we get a little lighter? That's a little better, I guess. thanks, Dale. I'm just kind of screwing around. Okay, let's see. Let's do a hover effect. And then we'll lighten the border, or the outline. Outline color. We'll say like, yeah. And then we'll darken the background maybe. So we'll say background color is something. Maybe like, I don't know. So now when we hover over it, it'll change. Although when we click it, it doesn't do anything. It's weird. Why? Maybe I'll just change. Maybe I'll just change. Okay, so the content is here. Make the opacity. I don't know why. If I want a little bit of transparency, yeah, that's true. I could do that. I'm just trying to figure out like why on hover. I added the hover in, and oh, there it is. I don't know. The text wasn't appearing for a minute. Maybe there's some weird things happening here actually with state. Yeah, then these should be disabled, right? Is there a not? I forget the not enabled. Change the disabled, we'll make the disabled lower transparency. So we'll say opacity 0.5 or something like that. That's disabled. Right. I don't know why the restart game button doesn't work here. Yeah, see now it's disabled. There we go. Oh, but then they don't re-enable. Oh wait, that's not the right. That is not the right. Is it, maybe I have to do like a not disabled. CSS selector not disabled. Maybe enabled is a different thing. Oh, okay, so it's like this. Maybe like this. Oh, okay. Not disabled. Maybe. Okay, I see. Something borked with the restart game not re-enabling everything. Oh. Okay, we'll take another 5 minutes. Yeah, I don't know. What if we just got rid of this whole business? We just did this. We just passed it as an argument. See, it doesn't re-enable. So weird. Huh. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Figure it out. Sometimes. Yeah, I'm not going to go too crazy with the styling here. I just kind of want to add a little bit of flair, and then I'll publish it to GitHub. I'm also, yeah, that's the other thing. Is like, I'm learning full stack, but in full honesty, I'm not like the best web designer. Like, I'm not a very artistic person, at least visually. Alright, see ya, Dale. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate you hanging around for a bit. Good luck on your studying. So maybe I'll do like 2 more segments this evening. Perhaps 2 or 3. I don't know what we feel like. Yeah, no problem, Dale. See ya. You won't even lie or hide. Did computer science 2 years back, didn't take it seriously and failed. Blamed myself for all bad decisions. Slowed you down. Well, I mean, honestly, Dev, the only thing you can do now is just focus on getting better today, right? Like, oh, right on. Studying IT. I actually work in IT. My day job is IT. I couldn't find a job in software development out of school, so I got an IT job. So I'm doing that for now. And then maybe I'll pivot, maybe I won't. I don't know. We'll see. I'd recommend IT. Like, it's not a bad job. It's pretty chill, but it's not like as fun, in my opinion, as like coding and like development. Like, I do a lot of like yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing, Dev. Like, so actually I am following the Odin Project. I'm assuming you're new here. I'm following the Odin Project, which is like a free online open source web development curriculum. So in the Odin Project, they have a lot of little like micro projects. So this one I'm doing is the Tic Tac Toe app, where I'm just implementing like a basic Tic Tac Toe game. And then like another app that they have further along is like a to-do list using like local storage, and then like a weather app using like a basic weather API, and then like a battleship clone, like a battleship game. So there's like a lot in here. I don't know. I would recommend it. And every single step of me doing this Odin Project thing, I've documented on this channel. Like if you go all the way back to day one, like I started right from the start. So that's kind of my goal. No, it's completely free, Dev. Here, wait. I'll send you the link. There's the link if you wanna start it yourself. Nightbot should wake up. Also, I have a Discord too, in case you want to join that. It's kind of dead right now because there's not that many people in it. But hopefully it'll grow, and we can talk about personal projects, things that we're struggling with. You can ask for help. You can get maybe some feedback on what you're working on. Hopefully, maybe just chat tech, stuff like that. That's kind of the plan. If you don't want to join, you don't have to. It's completely, obviously it's up to you. But that's my plan for it, at least, in the future. Right now there's like 12 people in there, so it's not too many. It's a small group right now. I mean, seeing as my channel's like small, I don't even have 100 subscribers. Oh, there's Nightbot kicked in too. Oh, there we go. Oh, I see you just joined there. I appreciate that. Alright. Yeah, again, it's pretty dead, but if you want to introduce yourself, we have an introductions channel. You can tell the rest of us a bit about yourself and maybe what your goals are. If you also want to chat IT, I can talk about IT as well. I have some experience in IT, like 2 years of experience. I did my internship in IT as well, so because that's all I could get. I couldn't get a computer science internship. So. That's true. That's true. It's just slow. I'm a little bit self-deprecating, I'll be honest. That's okay. Okay. Yeah, hopefully my goal for this channel is to have it to grow to a decent size. I wanted to, when I started, I know this is like silly, but when I started, I thought I could maybe get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, which maybe is possible. I don't know. I feel like we're maybe on track for that. Cause considering I started like 3 weeks ago, we're already at like, I don't know, like 60 something. I don't know. It's kind of fun. I've never, well, I shouldn't say I've never done YouTube, but I haven't done YouTube for a long time. I've never done it seriously, I should say. Yeah, and then we'll do we'll add a hover effect as well. You just do. Yeah, see, it doesn't. I don't know why that. It's probably some sort of liveness thing. Turn successful. Okay, so when we update the game button is when we click. So turn successful. We return true, and then we update the game status. Yeah, let me disable all the buttons. When we press restart, we do the restart game function. Maybe we change the text content after. Yeah, see? Because I think these are still disabled. There's probably like a... Yeah, it says it's disabled here. Maybe there's a better way to do this. Oh, thanks for the message, Dev. I'll get back to you after streaming there. That's a really sweet message. If you're still watching. So, yeah. Alright. There's gotta be a way. Disable and enable. Yeah, see, that's what I thought. If action equals enable. Oh, this is using like custom. Huh. You're welcome. Okay, so this is being run, but it's not the disabled flag. It's staying as disabled for some reason. Yeah, I don't know. Button not re-enabling JS. Yeah, that's what I thought. Manager.start game. Board reset state. Yeah. Yeah, because it works. Okay, so if the board isn't completely disabled, then this works. Weird. Now it's working. I don't know why it wasn't working before. Oh, see, and then now it doesn't work again. It's probably like a. It's probably like an asynchronous issue. Yeah, I don't know. Why is this flashing? I want AI systems. Good idea. Yeah, that's a weird bug. Because, like, I wonder if behind the scenes, the, what's the difference between VS Code and VS? Okay, so my understanding is VS stands for Visual Studio. So Visual Studio is an IDE. Like it's like a more integrated IDE. I don't actually really know. But it's an IDE, right, which is an integrated development environment. So for developing things that require, like, you know, enhanced debugging and testing and all these things, it has a lot of, like, built-in features that make that easier, and, like, utilities. But VS Code is a text editor, so it doesn't have those advanced, like, developer environment features, I guess. And the other thing too is I think VS, or like Visual Studio, is only on Windows. I think it only works on Windows. Yeah, see here, it says operating system, Windows 10 and Windows 11. But I'm on Mac, so it doesn't work for me. But if I wanted to use an IDE, I could use something like IntelliJ. I think those are IDEs, right? Yeah. Yeah, no problem, Dev. So this is what I would use if I wanted to use an IDE. But a text editor for most things is fine, unless you're doing like heavy C++ coding, or like you're making like really large apps that require like really granular debugging features. I would say a text editor is just fine. But yeah. That's update game button, and update game status is here. I know why. Maybe because isWin. You need to set isWin to be false and isTie to be false. That could be part of our problem. That could be part of our problem. Okay. That might have fixed it. Maybe. Yes, I think that was the problem. We weren't resetting the isWin and isTie flags. So basically when we were pressing this and then it was checking the game status, this get win status was still true, so then it would re-disable all the buttons. That was the problem. Okay, we figured it out. GG. Okay. That was an interesting little bug hunt. So yeah, you can go back to playing around with the styles. We could do... You do like hover. Actually, I don't like how thick the line is here. Let's do like where is it? Game board button. Let's do 125. Yeah, that's a little nicer. Right. And then we could do an effect. Actually, you know what we could do? We could do an effect where the winning. I want to make it so that. Oh, because the opacity. Wait. May I recommend a coding book, which I like. It depends what coding you want to do, Dev. Like, do you want to learn data structures and algorithms? Do you want to learn like Python? Do you want to learn HTML, CSS, JavaScript? Honestly, if you're learning like a language, I don't think you need a book. You just need like online resources, like the Odin Project. I would recommend for sure, which is what I'm using. But if you want to learn like programming concepts, like data structures, algorithms, I can find like some of the textbooks that I had in my that I used in my degree. But yeah, it's totally up to you, like what you prefer, right? Or like are wanting to get into. I don't know why the hover is still happening when it's disabled. I don't want that to happen. It's not helpful. An element is enabled. That's what I want to do. An element is enabled if it can be activated. Let's do like enabled hover maybe. Ah, that fixed it. Nice. We can darken the background a little bit. It's a little too much. Let's see. D9. Yeah, that's a little more subtle. And then I think I could add like, well, I'm not gonna get too ahead of myself. Okay, let's do, when it's hovered, we can also add like a box shadow, right? And then we'll do like, oh, that's kind of cool. That's like that's a neat kind of effect. Yeah, it's kind of neat, eh? I'm just kind of playing around with it. Maybe we like don't touch the outline color actually. Maybe like make it a little lighter. And we'll do text color. We'll actually invert it maybe. Or no. Text or color, just color, I guess. Like dark. Maybe not that dark. Maybe like that. Yeah, that's pretty good. So then we can see the X-wings play along the wings. Cool. I think that's like, we can add that hover effect actually to the button, the other button, right? Box shadow. And then we need a background color here. Maybe not like that. There. So now the restart game button has a, do a color of, maybe it's too bright. We could also like add an outline around the board itself too, right? We can make the board itself kind of pop. So we can do like game board. I think that's the, yeah. We'll do like a background color of like, all three, oh, a winter color? Yeah, that's a good idea. The only thing is we're gonna have to add a new data attribute to do that. Or I could add a class. I could just add a class to that. That's a good point. Let's do that. Let's do that. We're gonna have to change the code a little bit here. So what we'll do is we will do that in the win status. Or wait, no. We need to basically figure out which ones are part of the winning line, right? So this check win here, returns a boolean. And then I'm just thinking about the best way to do this. Because I have to get the state, I have to get which type of win it was, right? There's a way I can do this, it'll just be ugly. Okay, I'll take a break. We'll take a 5-minute break and we'll think about how to do that. Because I basically need to get the actual like elements that have the winning state. Like for example, like in this case, I need to get these 3 button elements and then only turn those ones green, and the approach would be to add a winner class to those buttons classes, right? So you could do like winner or something, right? And you can add those classes through code. And then basically if they're part of the winner class, then you update their styles accordingly. And then when you restart the game, you remove those. But yeah, I could implement that. Just with the way I check wins, it's gonna be a little bit. It's gonna be a little bit. Sketcherino here. It's not even gonna be sketchy. It's just gonna be inefficient, I guess. And then I'll play around with these inputs here. So yeah. Kind of a slow stream this evening, which is fine. I guess YouTube's taking a break. That's all right. I think it honestly all depends on like click-through rate. Like, you know, YouTube recommends your live stream to like, I don't know, certain number of people. Maybe like let's say like 300. And then if only like 2% of the people it recommends to click on it, then it like decreases your standing in the algorithm. I have no idea. Like recommends you to fewer people in the future or something. I don't know. I hate how much I've been looking at it, actually. Like, I gotta stop thinking. I gotta stop worrying about it. Not that it really matters, because again, I'm just doing this for me. Oh, you bumped into my stream before you went to sleep. Nice. Well, I appreciate you sticking around, Dev. It's nice to have you. But yeah, I stream regularly around this time. Although after tonight's stream, I'm going to be taking 3 days off to spend some time with family, and then I'll be back on Sunday. Sunday, either afternoon or evening my time. And I'm in Eastern Standard Time, so like UTC -5. So you can convert that to your time zone if you want to catch like future streams. And I've said this before too, but the other goal of these streams is to kind of like be a space where we can kind of co-work. So like you could have my stream on the side, and then you could be working on your own stuff, and then like I could be there, and we could just kind of like, I guess, work together and motivate each other. I don't know. That's kind of my goal. Because I know when I was in my program, like when I was doing my degree, I kind of would tune into some other people that would stream what they were working on. You're +2, but I hardly see. Oh wow. So if you're +2, that's like 7 hours ahead of me. So if it's 9 p.m. here, you'd be like 4 in the morning or something. That's crazy. I would say I prefer backend actually, to be honest with you, but I like both. I would say I'm full stack. That's what I prefer. I want to be full stack. I want the ability to do both, but I think raw like preference, I would say backend. But I have fun with front end too. I'm just not very good at designing things, but yeah. But yeah, okay, cool. I love how Nightbot is finally waking up. Because I have Nightbot on a timer to plug the Discord, but it didn't seem to be working last time, so I don't know. Yeah, 4 a.m., man, that's wild. That's wild. With work, there's no shot I could stay up past like 1 in the morning. I usually go to bed around like 11:30 at night. Because I have to be up in the morning at like 7:30, 8 o'clock. Because my work starts at 8:30. Yeah, exactly, Dev. Exactly. And that is not really me. So like, the way that I see it is it's good to know front end because it's good to know like how to actually like implement these things like buttons and all these inputs and all that, right? But you're not like, I wouldn't consider myself like a web designer. So like I could work with a web designer who gives me like Figma designs, right? And then I can implement that in code. Like that's kind of like my goal, I guess. Is like if someone gives me a design, I can implement it. I just am not good at actually designing the thing, if you know what I mean. So, yeah. Oh, nice to see you. I guess I'll call you Koi. Thanks for, I appreciate that you, think I'm dedicated. I honestly am having fun with it. And plus you guys, make it a lot more fun because I can kind of chat with people alongside. Okay, so we're gonna work on highlighting this. So what we'll do is, this is really inefficient. But we will. I could also split up this if statement too. I'm just thinking about a way to like uniquely identify. So if we have this and this, that's this line. This and this is that line. This and this would be that diagonal. And then I don't know. I'll just do it this way. I'll just copy each condition, each subcondition. And we know those are true. So then we know that line, and then we'll should be like a function. We should have a function to update the display manager by adding let me see. I just have to think about like the implementation here. Because ideally we would want to add the class to the buttons in the display manager object, right? Update game status. We want to update this button. So we'll say let win list. This is like bad. I don't know how else to do this. So we'll say let win list, and then we'll say win list equals and then we need to, what was the hardest part? I don't know. I think probably the hardest, or the thing that takes the longest, is to gain an intuition for control flow. So like what I mean by that is like you can learn individual concepts like if statements, for loops, variables, stuff like that, right? But gaining an intuition for like if you have a problem, right? That you want to solve with code, knowing how to translate those like concepts of like if statements and for loops into solving the problem that you want to solve from like a description in English. Like for example, I want to like, so an example would be when you ask like, oh, you should have it so that the wind, that the line that is the wind is highlighted green. Okay, so that's the problem. But then how do I actually like change the code so that that problem is solved, right? That bridge is probably the hardest thing to learn, and to kind of go on your own without the tutorial kind of like babying you through it, right? Just to kind of like think about your own ways of solving problems instead of relying on like the tutorial solutions. I think once you get that though, it's pretty easy to build on top of that. Also, I will say, once you learn one programming language, not including HTML and CSS, because those aren't really programming languages, they're more like markup. Once you learn one real programming language, whether it's Python, JavaScript, I don't know, like C, C++, whatever it is, C#, Rust, although Rust would be not easy to start with. Once you learn one, you can learn the others pretty easily. Except for functional programming. That's a completely different thing. Learning functional programming, like Haskell, was really, really hard for me because it's so different from procedural programming, which is or object-oriented programming. This is object-oriented, mostly. We'll say winList. Okay, so we'll say winList is 0 I 1 I to, and we'll have some sort of function in the display manager that updates the classes of those buttons. So we'll say const update or display. How do we do this? Let's see. Update game button wins, maybe? Update game button. And we'll take in a win list as a list of strings. Or a list containing strings, right? Win list is declared, its value is inverted. Okay. I think it's just this, right? Okay. Yeah. So where do we return that up here? And then we'll call that function with the win list. Or just list. We'll just say list. I hate naming. And we'll say display manager dot. Oh, and then I need to export that function too. Update game button win. Yeah, there's an error. I know. Where's the error? Identifier expected. Line 44. Ah, yeah. And then win list. Uh-oh. What's the problem here? Oh. There we go. Okay, so then we'll just do an else if chain here. This is not how I'd recommend you do this. There's probably a way of refactoring this code so that it's nicer. And I'll even add a comment. Get list of buttons to involved in winning line for styling updating for updating styling or something like that, right? So it's I0, I1, I2, and then we'll do the other else ifs. Again, don't recommend it doing it this way. Okay. Okay. Cool. And then now we have to actually code this function. So we get a list of strings that points to the coordinates of the buttons that are involved in the winning line, right? And then we need to update those. We need to add styling to those, right? And the way we can add styling to things is by wait, why is there an error here? Oh. Okay. Just need to have The way we can update stylings of things is by adding classes to the buttons, right? So yeah, when we do this, we can say button.classlist.remove win, and then we'll just, so the win class will be applied to buttons that are involved in a winning line, and then in the CSS we can target those buttons with the win class and then style them green, right? So yeah, so we can iterate through the game button elements for each button, then do an arrow function, right? And then if button dot dataset dot coordinates, or actually we'll do an includes, we'll do winlist dot includes that. Wait, argument of type string undefined is not assignable to parameter of type string. Argument of type string undefined. Oh. We'll do the outer check first. Then we add a class list. Again, there's all this checking for undefined stuff because of the way that TypeScript does typing, which I will, address at some point. But I think there's probably a better way of doing this, but I'll leave it. And then we'll add a class list. So we'll say button.classlist.add win. Okay. Yeah. And then in this style.css we can target that. So we'll say game board button dot win. Right. And then we can change the background color. So we can say the background color is, we could do like a green. So how would I do that? I'll do like a RGB, so it'd be like a 283 maybe? That's like a dark green. You could do like a D. And then we'll set the text color to be a darker green. Should be like a 073 or something. Cool. So now if we play the game, it highlights. Look at that. Let me restart. Okay, the outline's kind of ugly though. The outline's kind of ugly. We'll fix that. We'll get the outline going. Let's see. We'll fix that. We'll actually just change the outline color to what the text is. Nice. Huge. Yeah, exactly. It was kind of a pain. A little bit. It was pretty inefficient. Like this code sucks. I wouldn't recommend it, but it worked. It did the job. And there you go. Cool. And then if we get a tie, let me actually try to get a tie here. Yeah. So then if it's a tie, it doesn't highlight anything because it was a tie, right? Yeah. Cool. I mean, I could test all the combinations, but I trust my code enough that I think it works. Cool. So now we could like play around with these. We can play around with actually. Let's do the background of the game board first, and then we'll screw around with the padding. Yeah, so and we'll do a margin of 1 room too. Only margin top of 1 room, so we'll do 1 room 0. And then a background color of, yeah, it's like too dark. Maybe like a background, no, border radius of like, cool. And then we'll do a box shadow. Oops. It's a little much. Maybe push it to the side as well. We could do that for the button hover. Negative. Oh, that's the restart button. Game board button enable hover. Okay, yeah, 0 point. It's kind of. There we go. That's kind of cool. All right. Just add some basic. Although I kind of like it just at vertical. I don't like it off to the side. Cool. That's looking pretty sweet, fellas. That's looking good. And then we'll add, we'll make this up here look a little better. The inputs. Be interesting to see when I'm fully done. It's basically fully done, Dev. Like, there's only, I'm just gonna add maybe like a box around these inputs, and I mean, it's pretty much like it works, you know. And then you can like update the player name, so I can say like I can make, and then I'll put you in here. If I update the player names, then it'll say like itmanbanana's turn, and then it'll say Dev's turn. So the name updating works too. So yeah, the player 1, player 2 is just the default. Maybe I'll add a bit more padding or margin on this guy. Padding, margin top. Do a margin top. Why didn't that work? Game settings. Keep hitting my mic. Okay. Let's select this. Oh, it has a margin top. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so maybe more of a margin? Yeah, that's better. Okay. What does the inspect tool help with? So I was trying to see, well, this is going to be before. Actually, you know what I'll do? I'll make this dynamic. I'll say min like 70% or something. What if I do? Oh no, that's not what we want. Not 70%. What do we want in there? $100? Yeah. Sorry, I didn't answer your question. The inspect tool is useful to kind of see, like, for instance, with this element here, the game settings, right? I wanted to see whether the margin was applied to it. So what you can do is you can kind of go on the, you can kind of hover over it, and you can see this like orange box above it is the margin, right? So I can just check that the margin is being applied. It's overlapping a little bit with the box shadow, but that's fine. But yeah, that's kind of what the inspector helps for. It helps you kind of just like see things better and target them, right? All right, we'll take one more 5-minute break, and then we'll do one more segment, and then I think I'm gonna end it for tonight. A little bit less popular of a stream, but that's okay. It is what it is. Yeah, no worries, Dev. I'm here to help if you know, if I can. And also feel free, like, if you have any like questions about like so if you're working on something, you know, on your own time, and you want maybe a bit of feedback, or like I have a question, like feel free to pop it in the Discord, and I'll check it when I can and get back to you. Or maybe someone else in the community will. Because again, that's kind of like my goal here, is kind of just fostering a learning environment for everybody. So yeah. Yeah, we'll go for 25 more minutes after this timer, after the break. Because it's like 9:30 p.m. here. Exactly, Dev. That's exactly my goal. That's my goal. It'll be that, but it'll also be like if you made something really cool, and you want to like show off. There's a project and feedback channel where you can like say, look at what I made, and then they can get feedback on it, and also like suggestions maybe, or just, you know, people can tell you that your app looks really cool or whatever it is, right? Or I have another chat. I don't even remember all of the channels I made. Yeah, like the learning and help ones where we can kind of help each other, and then like the AI discussion. Like if anyone wants to talk about AI tools, they can talk about it there. Because I know AI tools are a big thing. Although I personally don't use AI when I'm learning, but I'm open to integrating AI into my workflow when I know what I'm doing, and I can actually like read and review the code that it creates. So. Yeah. I don't know. These breaks are kind of good. It lets me kind of clear my head, I guess. Kind of relax from it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's true. It helps, like, yeah, but the problem is if you use it once, you can't let yourself get sucked down the rabbit hole of using it forever, right? Like, for everything. Because kind of, like, struggling with a problem and, you know, working with it when you don't know what's happening is good for your learning, because then when you do eventually figure it out, you'll remember what went wrong and why what you did before didn't work, so that you avoid that mistake in the future, right? It's like positive reinforcement. Now Nightbot's plugging the Discord. I don't know what was wrong with Nightbot yesterday. So weird. No, that's fair, Dev. Honestly, I'm not, like, working super hard here. And don't worry about interrupting me. It's all good. Like, you know, this is just a little dinky app thing that I'm doing. If I want to, honestly, I'm thinking of switching up the format a little bit, where, like, if I want to seriously study, maybe I'll, like, say so in the stream title or something, or I'll, like, do it off stream. I don't know. I haven't fully decided how I want to do these streams, like, regular. Like I don't know. I might switch up the format at some point. Okay, so let's do this panel up here. So what did I call that? I think I called that, like, game names, which is, like, pretty bad. So we have it as a flex container, and then we'll do, like, a margin bottom. Just make it a little more distinct, and then maybe a background color of, like, it's cool. Well, it gives some padding to it as well. And then maybe a border radius. Maybe we could give it an outline too, or a border. It's a little dark. What do I do for the borders on the buttons? Oh no, I did 777. Okay, so this should be fine. And then we'll give it a box shadow too. Where's the box shadow? There's a lot of copy pasting. I could probably, like, make this better. Whoa, I don't want Copilot. How did I even activate that? What the hell? I don't even know how I activated that. It's getting late. Okay. There we go. Oh, I to continue with Copilot. What? Why did that? I didn't freaking set that. Maybe I'll get rid of the border, actually, because it's not on the main game board. That looks kind of neat. And then we can, like, yeah, so if it's full screen, okay, so that's a little too big. So we need to actually max the size of these. Where's the width of the buttons here? Oh, I'll do max or min. And then, like, 600 pixels is a maximum, maybe? That's a little big. Maybe 500. So if we full screen this, yeah, that's a little better. Although this padding's kind of screwed up now. Okay. We'll do a gap. This should fix that. Cool. Let me make it a little smaller. Like 450. That's better. Although now the font size all screwed up. Width is that, and then the font size is... I don't know what this percentage is of. Keyboard button. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll like... Now, if I make this really small, they should be alright. Okay, well, it kind of breaks when I get too small. So that's alright. You can actually probably put like a flex, how would I fix this issue? I can change the, I can dynamically change the font sizes here, but I'm kind of lazy. I don't know if I want to do it. Okay, so I'll start with flex because I can stop this overflow. By basically saying that like. The media query. I don't think I've actually done the media query thing yet. I kind of just use min and max. Or like clamp. So the game board, minimum 50 VW. So I could also do a clamp here. So I can say, like the smallest the game board would be is like, say 200 pixels. Right? Oh no, that still doesn't. That still works. I lied. What if I made the game board ratio fixed? Oh, that almost worked. Yeah, min and max is good too, yeah. I can also just do flex grow or flex shrink. Or a flex 1. I think that sets flex shrink to 0 by default. Oh no, that's still doesn't work. Yeah, responsive web design. That's still the thing I'm kind of learning. So I don't want the shrink. I like fixed it sort of. We need to change the display size for numbers too. I don't know. I don't know why that's changing. Because I have flex shrink set to 0. Yeah, that's fair. I was doing this mostly as like a exercise in TypeScript, right? I wasn't really. I mean, maybe I should. I want an environment manager. Get out of my face. So this isn't Python. Okay. Oh, because I have the Python thing clicked. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, because if I have the aspect ratio fixed, I don't know why it's like still shrinking here. You use JS mainly? That's fair. Yeah, see, when it's full screen, it looks decent. It looks good. Right? I don't know. I might not worry about it, honestly, for what it's worth. I'm not really expecting anyone to ever play it on mobile. I don't really care enough. So let's just change these inputs here. If I was making this as like, let me put it this way. If I was making this as like a project I would actually advertise on my portfolio or something, I would definitely make it mobile friendly and all that. But this is just like an exercise for the course, right? So I'm not like too concerned. As long as it like works and I like, you know, did all the things that I needed to do from like a logical point of view. Yeah, that's true. The only difference between JavaScript and TypeScript is just the static typing, basically, and the fact that it needs to be compiled. Like, for instance, this TypeScript file is compiled into JavaScript here, right? So this is like the JavaScript implementation of the TypeScript, which is basically the same. But the TypeScript, again, gets you to check your types so that you don't get any weird typing errors with JavaScript, right? Like, that's kind of the advantage. So, yeah. Plus, like, I don't know. I know TypeScript is like the industry standard or whatever. Okay, let's do the inputs. So, maybe set the width like a little less. Like 15, 16. We'll do like 60 here. And then we'll do background. Well, actually, we'll do outline. Let's do background of like outline. That might be like 2 actually. No, let's do solid border none. Border radius is like that maybe. And we'll do like a padding of 0.25 on the top and then like 1 on the sides maybe. Oh, it's like too much. Yeah, it's a little better. We'll do and we'll do an outline. We'll make the outline blue, maybe. So we'll do like a 1 3B or something. It'll be like a blue color. It's a little dark. So now when you have it focused, it's perfect. We'll also make the text like a little lighter. Cool. Cool. I think I'm pretty happy with that, honestly. Let me make the outline a little darker. Yeah. Cool. I think that's like, maybe I could add like a fill in the footer or something. And then we'll like, add like some padding to it. Oh wait, no, not margin bottom, margin top. And then we'll text align center. Oh wait, no, align items. How do I have the footer structured anyway? Oh, the footer text. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll just do a flex and then a justify content center. Like that. And we'll maybe add some padding to the top and bottom. Oh wait, no. That's not what I wanted. So if I made this like full, okay, so that's not ideal. I can actually add a negative margin. Like that. I'm gonna full screen it. Yeah. Something like that. Just have a little footer. Cool. All right. I think that's good. I guess it's never really finished until you decide it's finished, right? I don't know. So yeah, let's exit out of this guy, and then we'll do a commit. We'll say enhance styling. Enhance styling. I think that's all. I think that's the only thing I did since the last commit. Actually, I don't remember. Should probably abort it. Let me see the git log. What did I do in the last one? I had front end markdown and basic style. Okay. Oh yeah. So the main thing we did was we just connected the. We connected the. Okay, so connect back end logic to front end. Enhanced styling. Buttons, game board, buttons, highlight, green when to show, winning line, or something like that. I don't know. I don't really like writing commit messages, to be honest with you. Okay. And then we'll push it. We'll push it to the GitHub. Cool. Let's go to the GitHub. And then we can put it as we can make it a page. I love how easy this is to do. How the GitHub pages. So this should work now. Almost. Getting there. Here we go. Oh, what the heck? The styling looks a little different. Oh, maybe because it's the because it's the live server. I don't know if that's like screwing around with it. That's weird. Why is the why is it? Maybe I don't know. Is the oh, you know what? I know why. I know why. Because I was oh, my goodness, never do this. This is a mistake. I was programming with the goddamn thing zoomed in. I was because my browser window was zoomed in and I forgot to zoom it out. Oh my goodness. So all my styling decisions were, I mean, it still turned out okay. It still turned out okay. If anything, it's like better actually. Yeah, no, you, yeah, exactly. That was my fault. That was my fault. That was my fault. I mean, it still works. Yeah, no, you're right. I forgot that I had it zoomed in. I was so locked in on making it look good that I forgot the browser window was zoomed in. Because I know a lot of people are like, oh, the text is too small or whatever. Like I know Geel is often in here and he says like, oh, I can't see because I'm on a phone. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll zoom in the browser window for you. But anyway, so yeah, no, it looks good though. So now you can go to it. If you go to this URL, I think it should be live. And you can play it. You can play my crappy Tic Tac Toe game. Maybe invite a friend. But yeah. Cool. That actually might be why the yeah, you know what? That's exactly why we were getting the issues with the width. The width wasn't conforming because why? Because it was zoomed in. But now see if I shrink it all the way, the width is fine. Exactly. Yeah, there we go. That's good. Cool. I don't know. I kind of like it. It's nice and simplistic. That's kind of my my style is simple. Yeah, it's just small things make a big difference. Exactly. Exactly. So I honestly think like, okay, so that's, we'll submit it to this. So when you're done so yeah, let's like zoom out here. When you're done like a assignment, you could submit your solution to the Odin project so you can see other people's solutions, right? Even though mine's in TypeScript, so I mean, it's technically not, you know, It's not JavaScript. Like, they want me to use JavaScript, but I don't care. It's similar enough. So I can go to Community Solutions, and there's a bunch of people that just submitted stuff. So let's see what Brandon Fitzpatrick made here. It's like... Now what? New game? Oh yeah, this looks pretty good. Huh. That's cool. So that's that guy. And then you look at Nathan Bernard's one. So you can see how different people made different looking... different looking games here. Oh, and then see, you can click this and then it brings up some names to enter in. So it's like an optional form, it looks like. That's kind of cool. So yeah. And then this guy, okay. This guy looks like he used AI, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know why, I just get a sense that he used AI. Maybe he didn't. But anytime there's like an emoji in a button, I get a little suspicious. But I don't know. Oh, and then that's cool. So when you hover, it actually shows where it shows the... That's cool. It shows like where it's gonna go. Huh. Neat. So yeah, you can every time you do you finish a project, you can check out what other people did. So that's the end of the timer. So I think I'm gonna head out for the night, though. Dev, I appreciate you you know, sticking around and chatting for most of the stream. It was really nice. Hopefully you'll join me for more. I think I'll go to bed because I got work in the morning. But I'll make an announcement in the Discord, but I won't be live again until Sunday afternoon. Sunday afternoon my time. Sounds good. I appreciate you, Dev. But yeah, I know. So I'll be live Sunday afternoon, which UTC -5. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.